trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast.
I reset some stuff, so I'm hoping everything looks okay. It seems to look okay on the screen. We're going to go to live. Everything seems to be okay. So, in fact, the market, my portfolios, I ended green yesterday, just so everybody knows. I got on Spaces yesterday, and people were bitching and complaining. The market, it doesn't go up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, my fucking, my stuff's green, douchebags. Douchebags. And if Miss Unique is listening, it's you. It's not me. We will go over that. It's definitely you. If Miss Unique is listening and you're here early, it's you. Find another channel. That would be my guidance to you. Your stock chart has gone down, Miss Unique. Let me make sure this stuff is. Make sure Trendspider hasn't launched another sale. They never tell me. I know this one. And this one. And this one. Okay. Andrew Schwab bought Camp. $9 million worth. $80 million of hood sale. Not a proposed sale. Actual sale. Wow. Okay, we're going to go over here and do some scans. I do have, for paid members, the weekly scan list will be out this week. Walmart, Google. Morning, Donnie. By the way, good morning, Chris. I said it, but I don't know if you heard it. I was busy yelling at Penny, who was screaming at the garbage men. Garbage trucks are outside, so, yeah. Crypto and Bitcoin. We've Beth, BETE, and BITS. Let's look at, we've got, I need to look at brokerage. Anything other than Google and Walmart. Scanning's kind of slow. Let me log out. And I'll log back in. It's exactly what happened. She hops up on this chair that I have next to the window. Because, I mean, you know, Penny is all of, what, 6 inches off the ground? Walmart and Google. Covered call ETFs. Nothing. Energy names. Nothing. Leveraged ETFs. A lot. SMST, FNGD, SQQQ. I don't believe in that one. NVD. Watch your mail for your new. I didn't order a damn new MasterCard. You just told me it was canceled, douchebags. NVD, BAR, TMF, PSQ, TECS, the tech short, NVDS. I don't believe in any of those. I think it was a one-day thing. Morning, Scott. I love dogs, man. Dogs are the best. I love cats, too. In fact, I'm taking Penny to the vet for her allergy shot on Friday. Friday, I'm going. Morning, Victor. They just cost a ton of money. But it's worth it. Happy all-time Apple stock price day. Taiwan Semi is the only thing that's really moving a lot. XLC and XLU. XLC, XLU. Watch list. There should be a few in here. Yep. We've got Boeing. We've got Unity Software. We've got BLDR. And we've got PSIX. This is the hot one. Just got another leg up. MACD reset. Could be going for another move. Probably should call that one out, but let's look at the Dow. Boeing and Walmart, I think, are the two that are going to show up in here. Ooh, I need yoga this morning. Boo, if you're there, I need yoga. I think I'm going to do yoga after this. I'll probably fly through this. I do have a lot, but, you know, I'll probably fly through it, to be honest with you. Because, I mean, I probably should pull up Earnings Hub. Because we are in earnings season. There's just not. Morgan Stanley reported this morning. Abbott Labs reported this morning. Prologis. USB's going on right now. You can listen to the call right here on CSX, KMI, Crown Castle. I have friends that work there. Discover Financial. I can't imagine Discover Financial does good because that's the lower end consumer. 3M, Nike at 82. Still doesn't interest me. Let's go to the NASDAQ. EXC. WBD. I don't know who's buying that one, but NASDAQ and S&P. We're going to go down to the S&P 100. Man, there are a lot of lists that they implemented here. A lot of lists. Walmart, Google, 3M, Boeing, ACN. What the hell is ACN? Accenture, okay. That makes sense. Sometimes it's hard for me to remember all the damn things. So I do have daily stock pick. Let me see. The weekly strategy, weekly algorithm right here. And it's interesting because it does seem to get you in at the right place. I've been playing with the outs because right here, you know, it shouldn't really get you out there. It should get you out up here. But when I do it on the 9-day, here, let me look. And add parameter, add a GPT condition, and we're going to say price closes below 9-day EMA. I think that's, let's see. Okay. We got 215% without that, and it's the same thing. So it's just looking at the 50-day, yeah. But it'll be for the weekly, for the weekly paid newsletter. I'm working on this one. It performs well, and I think it gets you in at the right time. I just think it on a weekly basis, you could determine based on the weekly candle, based on the stock, like this one, Apple is down during the period 8%. With that kind of weakness, you'd want to kind of think about getting out in the next, maybe that week. And I haven't been able to figure it out. There might be integrating the go no go or one of the other indicators in Trendspider, which is usually a pretty good indication of it. But we'll see what happens. But I do have that weekly ready to go this week, just so you're aware. We'll go and look at the 4-hour. And see, this, you know, over 24 months makes you 41%. Buying and holding makes you 66%. So it's hard to time Apple because Apple is so good and it just kind of pulls back every now and then. So you want to look for entries, not necessarily exits in my mind. And that's probably why I'm having a tough time with it. I tested it on Amazon. I tested it on Google. I tested it on Microsoft. I tested it on others as well. We'll go over, I do like Netflix earnings. United Airlines, I'm more interested in the chart on this one than I am the actual earnings. But they're doing a big buyback, and I like that one. ASML was an absolute shit show. Not only did they just release it by accident, by putting it on their website, it was also bad, and it brought everything down. I said on Spaces yesterday that Morgan Stanley was a good bet. They're up 3% in pre-market. I did a chart on UNH yesterday, and I do think that there's an opportunity there. So we'll go into that. ANET, Arista Networks, and Microsoft announced a partnership. ANET, don't sleep on it. We've been talking about that one. Just buy it under 400, I think. NVIDIA, Amazon is doing Databricks deal with AI. So, again, Amazon, NVIDIA, I think the hyper players. Evercore bullish on QQQ and SMH. I continue to say SOXL is a good play. Google is jumping in on that Intel inside moment. I need to go to my, hold on. I need to go to my email. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to, let me see. We're going to look at Ed Corona. Ed's got a great Substack. And we were chatting back and forth last night. I think it might be on this one. It's on this one. Recent posts. And it might be in the comments. Let's see. Maybe it's on the paid one. Let me see.
Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.
We don't want that. I don't know why it's coming up, but I think it's probably because I'm on this one.
Daily stock day trading podcast.
I'm going to play that. Where are the comments? This is the commercial. It's just a commercial-free version. So it's not there. I don't know. Oh, maybe it was on a post, notes. Okay. We'll just go over here. Options Oracle. No. Let's see. I don't know how to look at his. I am subscribed to his, but we'll talk about him. I'll put it up there. Okay. Because I was mentioning that I wanted to buy NVIDIA at 130, but I can't find the comments. Maybe it's, you know what? Maybe it's in one of the comments here. Replies and mentions. There it is. There we go. Yeah. We were having a discussion in the comments. There we go. We'll use that one. Okay, so I got NVIDIA, AI exposed, lead the semis. We got Netflix. I need to look at the, let's see. Because it got a price upgrade. I don't know. Bulls run props into Q3 earnings, but yeah, notable analyst calls this week. No, I guess we'll just use a chart. So Apple unveiled their thing. Happy AI Day. We're going to go to Alpha Picks. And here is Miss Unique's comment. I'm going to put her on blast. She deserves it at this point. Morning, Mark. Larry. By the way, Larry, my girlfriend was saying, is Larry going to be here? I want to yell. So she's probably upstairs yelling right now. Okay. I'm going to hit record. I hope this freaking thing works. I redid the recording last night, and I hope it works. Because if not, I am screwed. Oh, okay. I guess I can do 4K and crop in on the. I didn't know. I'll try that in the next setup. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna go over there. We're gonna quit our calendar. I've got everything I need. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hit record. Here goes the podcast. I left in my little preamble yesterday. Maybe I'll leave in the preamble again today. Probably not. Okay. Good morning. It is Wednesday, October 16th. I got the right date today. Okay, let's talk. First off, I'm going to talk about this. Okay? Miss Unique. This is the commenter who said I talk too fast. And could I put something because she couldn't understand? Could you mumble a little louder? Thanks. I'm going to say this just like George Costanza said to his girlfriend Daphne, who wore the chopsticks in her hair. If you're a Seinfeld fan, you remember this. It's not me. It's you, Miss Unique, because you're the only one that complains about this stuff. You are the only one. My suggestion? Go to the crazy farm like Daphne did, or Daphne. Find another place. If you don't get what you need out of my podcast, why are you listening? If I mumble too much, don't listen. That's it. Again, it's not. Maybe it's your age. Maybe it's your age because nobody else complains. Nobody complains. You're the only one. Those comments aren't helpful. They're not constructive. You are not the producer of the show. Move on. Grumpiness again. You're lucky you got me on a non-grumpy day, Miss Unique, too. Let's talk about, we got a new Alpha Pick yesterday. If you don't know what Alpha Picks are, Alpha Picks, you get $50 off if you go to Linktree and you want to beat the S&P. It's the fourth link down here, Alpha Picks. If you want the bundle, Alpha Picks and Seeking Alpha. But I will read to you and I will put this headline in the newsletter. And the newsletter is free. If you want the newsletter, it's down here, Daily Stock Pick Newsletter. You can get it for free every day. I put the commercial free one up here for the paid newsletter subscribers. But the Alpha Pick yesterday, driven by unprecedented demand for energy infrastructure, this top quant-rated construction and engineering company has significantly outperformed the industrial sector. With a $1 billion backlog and diverse capabilities, the company offers expertise in both traditional and renewable energy. This company saw revenue increase double digits across multiple sectors, climbing 61% compared to previous years, its strongest showing since. The stock is poised to continue capitalizing on significant higher energy demand in the wake of the AI revolution, global electrification of vehicles, and the replacement of old power plants. The total return of Alpha Pick's portfolio continues to outperform the S&P. Continues to outperform the S&P. That's the key. Okay? That's the key to Alpha Picks. It's 2 stocks per month, once on the 1st, once on the 15th of each month. They tell you when to sell. It's a managed portfolio in that way. They give you complete data-driven stocks, and it's a whole list. It's an entire article on this one company. I'm not going to mention the company because I can't. They yelled at me last time when I mentioned it on the day. They want you to sign up. If you want to sign up for Alpha Picks, again, it's available here on the Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. It's down below. It's Alpha Picks. Do you want to beat it? Now, if you want both, and listen to the whole podcast, because if you want both premium and Alpha Picks, and this goes over, the bundle is the best deal out there. Save $159. It gets you Seeking Alpha Premium, where you can do your own research. It also gets you Alpha Picks. There's 3 tools on here that I mainly sell. It's the premium, Alpha Picks, and Trendspider. That's it. So if you're new here, keep watching, keep listening. Just remember, they're all available on Linktree with specific discounts. Specific discounts. So we'll go over everything. I do want to say, first off, after my rants, happy new Apple all-time high day. We hit an all-time intraday high yesterday. Again, 230 has been the resistance level, and it's pulled back below there. If you just started buying back on July 2nd, and you said, you know what, I like this at 220, I'm going to buy it here at 220, and it got up to 232, and it pulled all the way back down to 196, and you were like, oh my God, it's under $200. I'm gonna buy it now. If you were that lucky, you were great. And then you timed it and you sold it again at 232. And then you said, oh, it's back down here at 215. I'm going to buy it again. And then you got up here again at 232. And you said, boom, I'm going to pull it back. And there you go at 232. Yesterday's intraday got to 237. So it broke through. Hasn't used the 232. It closed at 233.80. So I wouldn't say that we've made that into support, but I do think Apple. Again, my portfolio is 60% Apple. It's doing very well. I've never been higher. They announced a new iPad Mini. I don't know if this is what's driving it. I have no idea. I can't imagine a new iPad Mini geared towards AI pushes this thing up one. It was up almost 3% at one point. I can't imagine this is what pushed it. They announced a new iPad Mini. Again, I can't imagine that's what pushed it, but that's essentially what did. And so we've got new all-time high. Now, when you go to the Qs and you look at where we are, I hope you bought the dip yesterday. We're up 0.07, so it's not super high. Yesterday, we opened up at 497. You pushed towards that 500. You didn't get to 500. Is this the next pullback? I don't know. Again, I hope there's a pullback because I want to put the 5% that I have out back in. But if we don't, I don't mind buying a little bit higher. But I am focused on the Qs. SPY, same kind of thing. We talked about SPY and VOO. SPY did hit all-time highs. We talked about this one up here at 585. The year-end targets around 6,000 for the most bullish. Around 6,000 for the most bullish. That's not a ton, but within the S&P 500, you can find names that might go higher. So again, I like this one. I like all of the indexes. I like you to buy them with the pullback yesterday, and we may never get another pullback. You may see something happen where it's going to fly higher. You may also see China go into Taiwan and we pull back 10%. You may also see Iraq and Israel go to war and we may see a 10. Nobody knows, but that the risks are always there in the market. So if your outlook is long term, make sure you're invested. That's the key. Now I want to bring up Netflix because Netflix got a new price target from Wedbush yesterday. They think live events with the NFL and wrestling, which is coming, will bring new subs along with a rate increase. Now, I want to bring this up because the algorithm got you out yesterday with a 3.78% gain. Okay? Am I getting out of this one? No. I have a good position, not as large as I would like it. And so I'm waiting for earnings. If you're not in Netflix, I don't suggest you load in right now. I suggest you wait for earnings. Here's the thing. I don't think that Netflix is overvalued. Like it's not, oh my God, I've got to get out of this one overvalued because they still have a password crackdown. I'm still using my password with my parents, just FYI. I think it's 2 or 3 houses that use my Netflix password. It's the only program that I actually pay for because I use everybody else's password on other ones. But this one will go into, I'm going to put this down in the earnings section, Netflix Q3. The reason I like this one in particular, can affirm price gains going forward. The reason I like this is because the analyst had a buy in here January 19th. They're up almost 50% since they did this. And again, Wedbush says new subs and a rate increase could be hugely beneficial. That's essentially what this person's saying is that, hey, the price isn't crazy on Netflix. It's just not. Yes, the valuation is extended. The PE is 36. The PE, the trailing 12 months, it was 44. Their growth, A-. That 13% year over year when the sector's growing at 1%. Their levered free cash flow growing at 12%. Sector's growing at 2%. Profitability, 43% margin. It's not great. The sector at 51%. But I still think that profitability is good. Levered free cash flow margin, 55%. They're spending money. That's the problem, is the gross profit margin. They are spending money to get it. They're entering into live sports. They have plenty of momentum. This is the most important 7%, 3 months. Again, I think this month's earnings, it's always been an opportunity to get in. But I think in my mind, from this chart, you're a little too late right now. I'd rather see you get in under 700. If we dip below 700 today, I think you can get in there. Do we go back to 500? I don't think so. And I'm going to be watching on Christmas Day the 2 or 3 NFL games that they got. It's the one subscription I am constantly in. So again, Apple unveils new gear, blah blah blah. NVIDIA. I continue to think that NVIDIA is the chip maker that you invest in going into Q4. NVIDIA yesterday was down. This morning it's up 1%. I wanted to buy it at what we'll do the articles in order because NVIDIA, again, AI exposed stocks, lead semis into Q3. I also want to point out myself and one of the founding members of the and founding members, just so you know, on the paid newsletter. It is $400, but they get the opportunity to interact directly with me. So one of the founding members and I were joking because he's got Seeking Alpha as well. And he said, did you read the trash on Seeking Alpha about the person comparing NVIDIA to railroads? Yeah. Analyst rating history. Look at this. There is trash on Seeking Alpha, and some of the analysts are absolute trash. And I think this is more to try and get readers than it is an actual helping. Because when you look at this particular analyst history, they said strong sell, NVIDIA up 65% since then. Strong sell, NVIDIA up 4% since then. They reiterate their strong sell, NVIDIA's up 33% since then. And the valuation makes sense. It's not crazy. Again, their PE is a little bit expensive, but the PEG is super low. And that's because they're growing so much and they're expected to grow more. But Jensen Huang said the Blackwell demand is insane. He wouldn't say that if it wasn't. So I do think that NVIDIA is an opportunity. I don't want to tell you, I told you about the NVIDIA stuff, but let's talk about this. Edward Options Oracle, Ed Corona. He and I have developed a little friendship on Substack here. I want to go live with him on Substack one day because he just lost his roof in Hurricane Milton. So he's been a little bit stressed per se. But I was saying, hey, I wanted to put in a buy yesterday for 130. It didn't fill. I think it is 170 by the end of the year. The biggest issue is whether the market will allow the market cap to take chips. Chips are cyclical, and it doesn't want Apple and Microsoft to be the second and third largest companies in the stock market. It doesn't want NVIDIA to be the biggest one, so it won't go to $4 trillion. That's the biggest issue. And Ed brings it up. If you really want to make it interesting, you can do a covered call spread. Selling the NVIDIA November 29th, 125, put to potentially own it at a 5% discount. He wrote this up. Okay, I'm going to include this in the newsletter. He sent me the full play. I would suggest anybody, he's taught me so much about options and his gains. I'm subscribed to him. Because his gains make me have FOMO sometimes. And I realize nobody should have FOMO. Yeah, I get FOMO for like 30 seconds. But his play, I read it this morning. It totally makes sense. And it's a free play for you. Again, Ed has done this as a favor. So as a favor to everybody else who reads my newsletter, go and sign up for Ed, the Options Oracle. I will put it in the newsletter. Let me see if I can read it real quick. Let's see. Gary, here's the full summary of the strategy I mentioned in the post. For me, it makes more sense than a limit order because you get paid to wait. The premium will change tomorrow when the market opens because this is based on today's closing prices. So it will change. The price is already below 133. right now, and my program does not work when the market is closed and lags 20 minutes behind, blah, blah, blah. Bad example. I won't have accurate pricing until 9:50 a.m., so this plot will be useless for tomorrow depending on what happens after hours. But it will give you a good idea of the concept. I'm glad I pulled it up because 1.11% for 3 days is pretty sweet. Again, you're getting 1.11% for 3 days. That's not an annual percentage. That's for 3 days. That's phenomenal. If this type of premium level continues on Friday for the weekly options, I'm definitely going to make it a personal play for myself. I'll shoot you the accurate pricing in the morning, but you may be filled with your limit order because it was trading at 130 range after hours if you kept that open. I didn't. I'll send you Friday's weekly two during market hours so you can take a look. He's going to send it to me. I will send it to you. Sign up for his stuff. He's probably going to make it his own personal play. I think it's a good one. Now, remember when I said that Microsoft saying, hey, we've got Blackwell running was the quote-unquote Intel inside for NVIDIA? Google just did it. Google just proved my point. Google Cloud says NVIDIA Blackwell line running in our labs. They just proved the point. This is why I continue to say SOXL, which is a triple leveraged ETF on these semiconductors, is the play. And the pullback yesterday makes it even better. Okay, right now in pre-market, you're at 35, you're up 3%. The algorithm still has you in. That MACD isn't super high. The RSI yesterday pulled back to 42. SOXL, in my mind, is the play. Evercore ISI is bullish on QQQ and SMH thanks in large part to shares of NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to drive this train. That's what's going to happen. I continue to say that. Now, Amazon yesterday signed a deal with Databricks, a Snowflake competitor. Ironically, Nancy Pelosi has a deal, and she got pre-round because Databricks is a private company. She was able to invest in Databricks. Did she know this? Because Databricks announcing this partnership with Amazon, Databricks just soared in value. But you can't invest in it, but Nancy Pelosi can. It's a Snowflake competitor. FYI, the reason Databricks signed this, the reason Amazon signed this with Databricks, because they want to get other people using the Amazon chips. Amazon doesn't have a chip that competes directly with NVIDIA, but Amazon does have chips that you can use in their cloud. And so Databricks is going to use the Amazon. And then what's interesting is in addition to using Amazon AI chips, the deal expands the usage of NVIDIA's own chips by Databricks, which rents them from Amazon Web Services as part of the pre-existing deal. So yes, and that was the reason Databricks signed this deal. Now, I still think Amazon is a great play. It is running right up against that 187 resistance level, 188. We have a 188 right there. You can see once, twice, 3 times, it couldn't hold it. 4 times, it came back up and crashed on the August 5th. Then 5 times here, and then crashed back down. And now we're back at that 188 level 6 times. Since what? February? 6 times. You were able to play this one at that level and buy it below this line. I do think this turns into support at some point in time. If we go and we look at a weekly and we just do the trend from January 2023 lows, we've broken that trend. Okay, and it's because Jeff Bezos is selling at $200. He killed the stock. And it pulled back. I think they will be fine. I think this is just October 28th is their earnings. I think you'll be okay in Amazon. Again, they just had their prime. Biggest shopping event for them in October. I think it'll be fine. But Amazon signs that deal. I think Amazon is a great play for Q4. Arista and Meta are partnered to build and deploy AI at scale. This is ANET. This is in the Seeking Alpha, or I'm sorry, the Daily Stock Pick core portfolio, not core portfolio, but the watch list. So I give you the watch list when you sign up for Trendspider. When you sign up for Trendspider, you go over here to the link tree. You use this top link, okay? You get to this page. You can choose whichever one you want. The standard, it's fine, $53 a month. By the way, if you want to pay monthly, you don't get a discount if you pay monthly. It's $107 per month. Okay, so for literally 5 months, 6 months, You get 6 months for free. 6 months for free when you buy this. And trust me, if you're new to charting, it's going to take you more than a couple of months to understand the software. If you are new to charting, go out and get a free software. Don't have FOMO. My 4-hour algorithm, it's great. It's unbelievable. And it will guide you. It takes emotions out of the trade. But if you don't have a lot of money, and $53 a month is a lot for you when you're trading, if that's a lot of money for you, then don't do it. Go and get a free program. That's just it. I'm so secure in the amount of money that I trade on a monthly basis that I can make $53 a month and be perfectly fine, and then manage my portfolio with the 4-hour algorithm, the weekly algorithm, all of those algorithms, that the 65-minute, the 5-minute, and the watch list, everything that I give you. I am so secure in that. And you do get a watch list, and ANET is in that watch list. Now, ANET, the algorithm makes you 168%. If you bought and held, you made 234%. That's over 24 months. The algorithm wins 75% of the time. The reason is because when you go to a weekly for the last 2 years, this has been a skyrocketing ship. Now, does the actual valuation of this make sense? It's a hold in the quant. Why is it a hold? Well, the valuation's a little bit, a little bit high. The PE, 47 going forward. You're paying 47 times what it earns. The PEG ratio, it's a little bit high going forward, 2.46. But you can't argue with momentum. Their profitability, 84% gross profit margin. They have pricing power. Their growth, 19% revenue growth year over year. The sector, 3%. So their levered free cash flow, 246%. I would argue that the valuation is less important than the actual stock price and the actual momentum. Now, Wall Street says it's a buy, and they have a $359 price target on it. That's an 8% downside. I don't know that I'd feel comfortable without some type of technical trading process that has a 168% win rate. I don't know that I'd feel comfortable buying up here. And at 336, probably didn't feel comfortable. I said, hey, let's buy it under 300 because it was in this range. Never got there. It's used the 200-day as its support level the entire time. Now you're down at the 50-day. Are you starting to use that one as support? I don't know. I mean, again, you want some type of technical trading process so that you can do it. If you pull it back here to its 259 when it broke through and it got that one, we're not seeing a whole lot of volume up here. You're seeing a lot of volume around that 368 level, which should provide some resistance there. Okay, but ANET is a favorite. Now, another favorite that's in the core portfolio, and this one's a big one, is UNH. Okay, UNH is United Healthcare. I did this chart yesterday, and I'll do it live here. This is a daily chart, okay? It's daily. So it's not in the 4-hour, it's not a weekly, but it is a daily. And I wanted to look at where this one was because we've been in this range for quite a while. And so let's go to UNH. I'm going to pull this up on the on Trendspider right here. And now the 4-hour algorithm, it just doesn't work on this. It gets you good entries. It got you out yesterday, but it was afterwards. 553, if you pull up the daily, and that chart that I did yesterday shows it completely. You pull it back here to August 2022. So you're a couple of years, okay? You've been in this range between 450 and 550, using 550 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times. And then you used it as resistance, okay? 1 time, 2 times. And now you closed at 553 yesterday. You just opened up, let's see, it's at 559. It's up 0.64%. The MACD has reset on the daily. The RSI is at 35. It's oversold. I do think that this one probably deserves a chance. Now, in the 4-hour algorithm, you're out. It hasn't gotten you back in. It most likely will get you back in if we have another couple of days positive. But I do think that this one deserves a look. Okay? I said yesterday on Spaces, I was on Spaces at 3 o'clock on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. But I said on Spaces, Morgan Stanley's a buy. Well, right now it's at, let's see. Let's look at Morgan Stanley. They beat, their earnings beat. It's, let's see, it's 9:15. They are up 3.9%. Up 3.9%. I said, I think it's a buy. And the reason I thought it was a buy, I looked at yesterday, I was just sitting there on Spaces, waiting for everybody to talk about their game, talk about their stocks, talk about what options they played and did. And I'm like, I didn't do a damn thing. But I do think, and here's my notes. I said everything. I said, happy Apple Day. I said Mag 7 needs to be trimmed. Apple's a buy. Amazon's a buy. NVIDIA's a buy. Meta's a buy. Microsoft's a buy. Netflix is a buy. Tesla is not, and Google's not. I think SOXL is a good buy for Q4. I also said I like financials in this market, with Morgan Stanley coming up with earnings and breaking out from a multi-year trend. And the multi-year trend can be seen on a weekly chart. Okay? Look at that. If that's not a breakout right there, I don't know what is. You've got this week on top. Okay? It's breaking out from previous all-time highs. Now, could you have gotten it down here at 73? Absolutely. That was October 23rd. That was last year. October 23rd, 2023. That was the low for financials. And ever since then, you've seen a nice climb up with the 50-day bouncing off the 200-day. I saw this chart and I said, you know what? We're breaking out. I like Morgan Stanley. What happens? They're up 3% today at 116. I like that one. So those were my notes from yesterday. I do like Morgan Stanley. I said it. Let's talk about earnings. ASML yesterday, this was a shit show. So first off, they weren't supposed to report yesterday. It was mistakenly put on a section of their website. And then what happens is we find out that their stuff was down 50% and that their guidance, third quarter bookings fell 53% quarter over quarter. The company's net sales grew 20% quarter over quarter. ASML expects fourth quarter sales to be between $8 billion and $9 billion with a midpoint of $9 billion. The company sees gross margin in the range of 49 to 50%. Estimates 50%. So they took everything down. And so, you know, everybody say, oh my God, all the chips are going to get, that's what took everything down. KLAC, AMAT, NVIDIA, AMD, everything. It took everything down. This was your buying opportunity. Not necessarily in ASML, because I do think that ASML has problems, and they outline that. But Taiwan Semi right now is up like 2%. It was up 2%. It's up 0.88%. It's at 188. I would expect Taiwan Semi to be very similar to ASML. I don't expect them to blow things away, and they do report here coming up. But I would expect that 158 to be a decent support level. So if you're looking at playing some options, I would say buy some puts around 158, because I would expect these earnings to come up a little bit light. The expectations are super high. If you go to Earnings Hub and we look at the Taiwan Semi, okay, revenue last time they reported, it was $20.8 billion. Revenue this time, $23 billion. Okay, earnings per share, $1.48. Estimate this time, $1.80. That's a big increase. And so the potential with ASML is that Taiwan Semi could come in light. I'd be a little bit scared of that one. I'm not owning Taiwan Semi, but I do own the Qs, and it's in there. Now, United Airlines, different story. United Airlines is up in pre-market 1%. It was up 1% yesterday. Beats Q3 expectation as company sheds unprofitable capacity. That's the lower end consumer. But what I wanted to point out to you was UAL, the stock, because this has been just unbelievable performer. Okay, the algorithm got you in at 41, got you out right here at 0.4, and then it got you right back in. Okay, but if you're in at 42 and you're up at 64 right now, and you played this 4-hour algorithm and you said, I love airlines, you're up 50% in 46 days. You're up 50% in 46 days. It's an absolute trade. And the reason it's a trade, look at this. This is a nightmare of a stock. It trades in a range. and you've broken out of that range. I don't believe that this range is going to be broken and held. I do think that you're trading at the top of the Bollinger Bands. Your MACD is super high. Your RSI is at 79. I'd be taking profits on this one quickly. The algorithm makes you 68% over 24 months. You make 87% buying and holding. I like the stock. I think, I like the company. I just, airlines for me, not something I want to play in. We talked about Netflix. Here's the article that I showed you earlier. Netflix, I think, is a good play. If we go over to Earnings Hub and we look at Netflix, revenue last time 9.56. Their revenue this time 9.76. I do believe with the ad tier and the increased password crackdown, I think they get it. Earnings per share, $4.88. Earnings per share estimate this time, $5.11. Like I said, I'm not playing earnings on this one. I am holding through earnings, but I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let's go to social requests. What are your thoughts on renewable energy stocks? We bought Wave. So far, so good, but hydrogen stocks not doing so well. Any advice? Much appreciated. Wave. What's Wave? I don't even know what Wave is. Let's see. Eco Power. The chart looks good. Let's see about the fundamentals. Wave. Let's see. Fundamentals are, it's not covered by the quant, so I can't look at that. So if we go to valuation, they're not making money. Growth, they're seeing great growth, profitability. They're not making money. It's not making money. I mean, what's the value proposition on this one? It's got a market cap of $58 million. Dick's Sporting Goods down the road makes more than $58 million. I don't know. That one, I wouldn't put my money into that one. You could buy it. My note to Tyler from Canada was that I was in QCLN, and QCLN is a clean edge green energy ETF. I didn't like it, and it didn't perform well. Now, luckily, I was bought in back here at like 20, and I think I sold at like 40 something back in July. So I just don't like clean energy. I mean, again, I think renewable energy has a place, and I am a fan of renewable energy, but the stocks trade like trash. So, and if you make money in stuff that I mentioned, tips are appreciated. But Wave, I don't know. Let's see, Jack. AAPL went from $10.12. As I was listening to you talk about it, I heard Bill Gunderson mention something about it a few weeks ago. So I grabbed a few hundred shares. It's up 100% since Kramer said it was so bearish he couldn't even look at it. Never fails. He said, Ryan, F you, because Ryan complained about the commercials. AAPL, let's see where AAPL ended up yesterday. I brought it up. AAPL was up 10% in the morning. It was up kind of even in the day. So yesterday it got up to 1263. So hopefully, Jack, you made some money. Jim Cramer has proven himself the hardest working jinx in the market. I mean, he really has. You've got a gap up here to 15. I don't know that you fill this one because, again, it's kind of like the wave. It's just not. It's not making money, I don't think. But at least, I mean, profitability F. It's just one that I'm not necessarily getting into. But this one in nanonuclear energy, NNE, SMR, LEU, Constellation. Constellation is one with nuclear. And it's actually got some decent, they're making money. It's a utility. And they have nuclear growth. They're levered free cash flow. They're not making it. But profitability, again, it's a hold from the quant. And it's been a hold from the quant forever. Even during that rise, Wall Street says it's a $275 stock. And that's 3% upside. But when you look at it, the range here, the 52-week range between 109 and 288, if you got in on this one at 109 52 weeks ago, you were fantastic. You saw this one coming. But again, with energy like that, I typically like to stick to utilities, AAPL and nanonuclear energy. I think those are trades. I think you can trade them easily. From Spotfiy, what do you think of Nokia and Netflix before earnings? I went over Netflix already. But Nokia, my response to Dex was, I don't have a flip phone. I ain't got no flip phone. Now, I will tell you, this chart, it's bottom left, upper right. So if you bought down here at 344 and you're at 441, you're doing pretty well. But that's not a big range. I mean, that's not a huge range. Look, you made this nice 9% move right there. That was the big winner. Let me get out of that one. Let's go and look at the fundamentals of Nokia, because my guess is it's just not good. The valuation's not bad, but it's their growth. The valuation, you're only paying 11 times forward earnings. So if you want to bet on it, that's fine. You know, your growth, your revenue year over year, you're declining by 18%. This reminds me of the dial-up internet company that I worked for, Earthlink. Revenues just continued to decline. You know, you made money. You made a ton of money. Free cash flow per share, 21%. That's huge. Operating cash flow from growth, 341%. They made a ton of money because they have no debt. The profitability, 43% gross profit margin. That's great. Momentum, B+. It's a hold in the quant. Wall Street says it's a $4.92 upside price target. There's 10 analysts that cover this. 10. If we go and look at Seeking Alpha, they have it as a hold. Let's look at some of the recent ones. This guy said it was a hold. It's up 16% since then. These people say it's a hold. They're up 33% since then. These folks said it was a hold. It's 31% since then. Nobody has it as a buy, or this guy has it as a buy. Let's see. He has it as a buy. He's up 10% since then. So maybe that's the guy you want to listen to. But I don't have a flip phone. I don't know what other things that they do. But you know, Nokia, to me, it's just kind of part of the past. From Instagram, Mike Tebelok. Hey, Gary, just finished the pod for today. You said there are better options than VST. Curious what you think they are. Also curious to hear your thoughts on CFLT and Unity. Unity is just a mess. Confluent, CFLT. Unity is a mess. It's software, and so Confluent, the chart, I don't like the chart at all. You know, do your research. That Michael Wiggins is one that actually has some great points. He had it as a buy here. It's down 30%. Has it as a buy there. He has it as a sell here, and it's up 9%. So this guy's backwards on this one. He's been good on other ones. But that's what you get. Momentum, it's a D+. Unity is the same thing. It's software. It's just bad. And VST, I put it in the paid newsletter. And how I did this was I went to VST, and I went to Seeking Alpha, and I went over here. And I put it in the paid newsletter on, let's see, if we go to the paid newsletter, and I think it was I think it's this one. 5 names I have on my buy and watch list right here, video course. It's 5 names. So I said in that newsletter, in that particular newsletter, if you read that newsletter, I put in which one of these I liked. And if you have Seeking Alpha, you can do your own research, but I put in which ones I like other than VST. So you can take a look at that. But that's what I did, Michael. I do think that VST is a great one. The problem that I have with VST is just the valuation. And you look at Wall Street, and they say it's a 136. Do I want to buy it at 128 when 136 is my kind of top? I don't know. I mean, then you look at the summary, and 143 is the top. You know, it's traded all the way up to 143. So maybe, with yesterday's pullback at 128, it's trading at 131 in pre-market. I think that, again, I did find one other that I liked much better. Now let's talk about scans. Walmart in the core portfolio has an entry. Walmart 8164. Do you want to play this one? Algorithm makes you 68%. Buy and holding makes you 89%. I would argue that 81 is perfectly fine. Your earnings are coming up middle of November. Google. I talked about Google not being necessarily a buy. I don't like this one. But the algorithm gets you in at 166. Algorithm makes you pretty much the same as buy and hold. 63.4%. Buy and hold makes you 67%. You do have this gap up here. I think Google, I wanted to start trimming my Google. I really do. And the only reason I say that, you can go to ChatGPT or one of the large language models and create your own damn search engine. You can do it, customize it, what you want without ads. And Mr. Who's the Boss went over it this weekend, and I put it in Monday's newsletter. It's a great, great video. Go and watch it. He goes over why he thinks Google is broken. Boeing. Now, I took Boeing out of the core portfolio. It's still on a watch list. If you want to buy a falling knife, 152. Algorithm makes you 23% versus buying and holding makes you 15% over 24 months. Boeing. Now, ironically, Unity Software, which Michael asked about, has an algorithm buy at 22. Okay, the algorithm works on this. The algorithm makes you 30.5%. If you buy and hold for 24 months, you're down 32%. So the algorithm actually makes you money on a stock that is upper left to bottom right. You just got your 200-day. Your 200-day is way up here at 68. It's a broken stock. I would trade it. BLDR, which is on the watch list, the Daily Stock Pick watch list, BLDR is one. Just got another leg up. This one, the algorithm makes you 57%. Buying and holding makes you 213%. This is a stock on the rebound. And when we look at this, that all-time high at 212, it's going back there. This is a stock that has, I think it's still a strong buy in the quant. I'd say it's a hold in the quant. And it's the valuation. But it's well positioned amid new residential building. This is a company like a Home Depot that just provides stuff to the new home builders. And it was the lumber price that really drove it up through this. But I think it's more than the lumber price. I don't own this one. Now, another stock that we have from, if you've watched me and you go over here to the top stocks, your top quant stock is PSIX. And if we look at PSIX over here in Trendspider, let me just refresh this real quick so that we go and look at PSIX in the 4-hour algorithm because it does have an entry. But I will warn you about this one because I do think that $20 that is traded, that $20, is it right now support or is it resistance? I would argue that we've seen it pull back and we've seen it go over. So I think it's support. The algorithm got you in at 19. It just gets you in again. The MACD has reset again. My algorithm is based on the MACD. And so the algorithm says, hey, at this point, you can get another entry. The RSI pulled back to 64. You're at 23. It's up 24.89. So 3M is a Dow stock that got to cross up. 3M is a Dow stock that seems to be using that 131 that was resistance, seems to be using this one as support. 136 is the buy. Now, all of this, in every newsletter, I include all of these scans. Okay? Every newsletter includes scans. So if you go down to yesterday's newsletter, today's newsletter will include the scans. And that's how you use it. You use it with the 4-hour algorithm. So if you're listening to me and you don't have Trendspider, but you have your own software, you can simply go down to this list of scans and say, okay, which ones do I want? Which ones do I want to look at? Which stocks do I want to look at? Which spider sectors? Which low-cost ETF, leveraged ETFs, Bitcoin and crypto? Which ones do I want to look at? Because I don't have Gary's 4-hour algorithm, but I have my own charting software. Because if you don't have your own charting software, you're not doing things right. Because you should be using charts and you should be using fundamentals. And that's why I sell the tools that I do. That's why I partnered with Trendspider. That's why I'm an affiliate. Again, $53 a month. What you do is after you sign up, you email me and I send you links to import everything into your setup. And the best bundle out there, Seeking Alpha Premium. You saw how I used the quant. You saw how I looked at the valuation. You saw how I looked at the growth. You saw how I looked at the revisions. You saw how I looked at momentum. You saw all of that nice and easy, ad-free in front of you. And Alpha Picks, you can't argue with the Alpha Picks portfolio. 145% return versus during the same time, S&P made 51%. They tell you when to sell. They tell you when to buy. They tell you when to sell. I typically don't like doing that. But with the performance of that portfolio, I can't argue it. And again, they had a new pick yesterday. So to find out what it is, sign up for Alpha Picks. If you have any questions, I'll be back tomorrow, or you can email me. Just go to Linktree. Again, the link is right down below, right below my head. Okay, take care. See you, bye. Okay, I know I didn't go over an hour. Oh, sweet, it remuxed. Now, this is the big question. When I open up iMovie, let's see. When I open this up, this is going to be a big test for me. Because if the file works the way it's supposed to, then I won't have a problem here. Okay, we're going to go. auto. Oh, and I'm having a problem. Oh. Okay, let's see. We're going to colorize that. Oh, I don't think it likes it. So now I have to go back and figure it out. It's going to be a long day. Analyzing audio. Ugh. It's doing the same damn thing. I hate this thing. Let me see. Yeah, it's even worse. Okay, that's not good. This is going to take forever. We're going to take this. Oh, this is going to take forever. Okay. I probably have to run. Let me look at your comments real quick. AIQ. Let's look for Donnie. AIQ. It's just an ETF. I mean, that's just real quick, Donnie. That's an ETF. There's nothing I can say or do. The holdings, Alibaba, IBM, ServiceNow, Oracle. I mean, it's an equal weighted ETF where it's just got 90 names. 90 names. NVIDIA's in there, but they're all at 3%. So you got 66% technology, communications. It's just an ETF. If you want to know how it charts against the S&P, it doesn't perform well over 3 years. Over 5 years, it outperforms the S&P. Over 10 years, it underperforms. So it's mixed. Expenses, it's expensive, 0.68. Let's look at the performance of it versus XLK. I mean, that's the one that I think you'd probably want. XLK over 3 years outperforms. XLK over 5 years outperforms. XLK over 10 years outperforms. Yeah. It's got high fees. I don't know that I necessarily love it. Oh, and this damn thing. Okay. I got to run. File's messed up. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't hopes and fears.